Hello everyone, how are you doing? Good day and welcome to another live stream on Easy Real Estate with Abiola, a weekly series where we discuss real estate related topics with special focus on first time and frustrated property investors. And the discussion is in simple and clear terms that anyone, whether you know nothing or so much or a little about real estate, you get to understand what the discussion is all about. So welcome to another live stream, another edition this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Okay, it's afternoon in the part of the world where I'm speaking from. So good day to you wherever you're watching from, whether you're watching live. Okay, no one has joined live yet, so whether you're watching a replay, good day to you wherever you are. And thanks for watching. So let's see who's going to join me live first today. Let's see who's going to join me live first. So I'm just going to take a minute to invite a few people to join me. Okay. So welcome all. And when you join me live or you're watching, when you join live, please invite someone, invite more people to join us, let them join this conversation. For those who are watching for the first time, my name is Abiola Fadanse. I'm a real estate consultant. I help first-time and frustrated property investors get started right and make informed decisions so they can make the most of their real estate investment. That is what Abiola is all about, okay? And this is Easy Real Estate with Abiola. I come live every Thursday by 3 p.m. West African time to discuss real estate topics where you can get cleared and learn more on whatever it is I'm discussing that particular week. So thanks for joining me. And when you join me live, or whether you're watching the replay, yay, so people started joining already. Thanks for joining. I can't see those joining me. So please, when you join me live, say something. Please say something. Let me know you are here so I can give you a shout out, okay? Say something. And for those who have watched previously or those who usually join me, you know how we do it. When you join me live, let me know where you're joining me from. You can tell me your name and let me know what you do. So if I've not met you before, let me know what you do. Let's get to interact. You don't know, I might have business for you, or someone else watching might need your service. So let me know what part of the world you're watching from. If you're watching from Nigeria like I am, I'm coming live from Lagos. Let me know. If you're watching from any other place that is not in Nigeria, do introduce yourself. Let me know what you do and tell me what you're about, okay? So let's get to meet one another. So thanks for joining. For those that have joined, I still can't see those that are joining. I don't know, I just said something, let me know you are here. So today, okay, Orinda Mola Shobola, thank you. Thanks for joining me live. Yeah, thank you so much. And please invite people, share, let more people join us live. So we'll have a full, should I say a full cyberspace now or something, okay? So thanks for joining. So today I'm discussing the topic. Thank you, Tolu, for joining me. Thank you. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining. So today we are discussing the topic benefits of hiring, the benefit of hiring a realtor when buying a property, and also knowing their duties, what these people are supposed to do for you. Because within the time I've worked with people, I get to find out that so many people don't even know, like for those who hire, for those who buy properties, they don't know so many things that are involved that a realtor is supposed to do for you when you hire their services. And I've come to understand that so many times I get to meet people who have issues as related to real estate investment or making real estate decisions. And most times when I sit down to analyze or to try to analyze what went wrong, oftentimes it boils down to the fact that these people who have made wrong decisions, did not make use of a realtor, okay? And that's all I'm about. When I get to meet people that have had bad experiences, that have had bad issues when it relates to their investment, in real estate, I try to take the time to understand what aspects these people are coming from, because that was even what got me into real estate in the first place. I got into real estate because my mom too had gone down that path where she was really depressed, she lost her investment, and out of curiosity, wanted to know what went wrong. That was how my whole real estate journey started before I got into the real estate space and all of that. So it hasn't still changed. So when I meet people that have those issues, I try to, I ask questions, I try to understand what it is, because we learn every day, in as much as, most times I know, I can try to think about what they could have done wrong. It was because they did this, that this happened, the law of cause and effect, that this happened. I still learn. There's some things that when I get to hear, I'm like, really? So this can actually happen, so it really interests me a lot. But most of the time, I find out that why these people have these issues, why they get their fingers burnt, why they had to go through all the stress, why they have all this so much issues, is because they did not hire a realtor before making those decisions, before going down that path of investing, And this is what I'm here to discuss today. Because I find out that most times, especially in Nigeria, when people want to buy property, they just tell you, I think I know. It's not just for me to just find out who is selling and we just negotiate, I pay and all. But no, that is where they get it wrong. Most people feel, what a realtor is good for is, what a realtor is good, I guess someone is operating the, all right. So what a realtor is good for is just, show me the property I want to buy, and that is it. But no, it goes way beyond that point. It goes way beyond just showing you, I think this is good for you, or I think this is what is in the market, or I feel this is what is trending at the moment, put your money here. It goes way beyond that. And most times, people don't understand the fact that even if you have, a realtor, especially when the realtor is on the side of the seller, you need to get your own realtor that works, that all the realtor is about for you is having your best interest at heart. But most people don't understand that. They don't see the need. I don't know why. Maybe because they feel, I don't think I don't want to pay for the service of this person. They just feel I can do it all by myself. It's not just for me to just find out how much they're selling, find out what's selling, find out what price it is and all that. But the truth of the matter is, when you get to hire the service of a realtor, it saves you a whole lot of time, it saves you a lot of stress and even cost. Because those mistakes you make on the long run, and you might feel you know it all, isn't it just to buy and sell? Trust me, real estate is not just about buying and selling. It's not like fish that you go to the market to see what you want, you take it home. Even by the time you get home, maybe it's smelly or it's spoiled or something, but that is fish. You can easily let go. Now we're talking about real estate. Real estate involves money, It involves a whole lot of decision making. It involves documentation and all that. So especially if you're not experienced, if it's not something you've been doing over time, you can't go that part all by yourself. You can't. But most people don't see the need for it until something happens that is not so good. So they now feel, I think I need someone to talk to. But most of the time, it's usually late. So that is why I'm coming here to share with you the benefits you stand to gain when you hire a realtor, especially before you buy a property, and their duties. It's not just the benefits. The duties, what you should expect from this realtor when you hire their service, You should know what to expect. So you know, if I'm paying this person, it's actually what it is. Not just all about me seeing a particular property, and it's not all about the realtor showing me this is the property and that is it. That is not the end. So that is what we are discussing today. And I know by the end of this discussion, you would have learned something. You would have learned a whole lot, and you see the need and the importance for you to engage the service of a realtor when you want to invest in property, So the first thing I'll be sharing with you, for everyone that is live, please share this video. Please share this video. Invite people to join us, right? I know you're not all selfish, Because this is me giving it out the way it is, like I'm giving out this information. You don't want to keep this information all to yourself alone. So invite more people to share us. And yes, your loves, your likes, keep them coming. I know you love me like that, so keep the likes and the loves coming. So thank you. So the first benefits and the duty of a realtor. It's both. It's both their duty and it's a benefit to you as a person. Is okay. First, someone might ask, what is a realtor? Who is a realtor? A realtor is a licensed real estate salesperson and a member of the National Association of Realtors. Okay, so they are licensed. Is a salesperson, but it goes way beyond the sales, and that's what I'm here to make you understand. It's not just about sales as a realtor. There are so many things a realtor would help you with, even though on the long run it boils down to, okay, you want to make a purchase, or the realtor want to help you sell a property, but now the focus is for those that are hiring a realtor because they want to buy a property. So I'm going to be sharing with you the duties and the benefits you stand to gain when you hire a realtor, a professional one. Okay, so that is it. So the first one is the provide a service in your best interest with a fiduciary duty. They provide a service in your best interest with fiduciary duty. And what is a fiduciary duty? It's more like a legal obligation where one party is to act in the best interest of the other party. Like, to act is a legal obligation where one party acts in the best interest of the other party. So it's not about it's not about the realtor now. It's about you. If you're hiring a realtor, the realtor is to act in your best interest in all decision-making process from the beginning to the end of the transaction. Okay, and also you can also term fiduciary duty as like the highest standard of care you can get. Okay, like the highest standard of care from, in fact, till this, okay, don't let me use the wrong English right now. So the smallest, let me put it that way, kind of decision you make all along the line, everything, the realtor makes sure it is in your best interest. From the price to the location to the building itself or to the land itself, all the way down. Okay, and in most cases, the person offering, acting in the other person's best interest is called a fiduciary, while the other person, the person receiving the service, is usually called a principal or a beneficiary. So they act in your best interest. So now it's not even about what the realtor stands to gain now. It's about what is best for the client. Okay, it's about what is best for who is purchasing. You can be so sure, because even when you're working, when you want to buy a property, and please, as I go on, if you have questions, just ask them. I'm going to answer them as I continue this conversation. Okay, when you have questions, please ask your questions. I'll answer them as I go on. All right, so it's not about, like I said, when you work with your own realtor, especially as the buyer, the realtor works in making sure everything that is captured from the beginning to the end is in your best interest. It's different when you're just working with the seller's agents, because of course, whatever they do, you're working with maybe a realtor that is representing the seller. All the person is going to do is to protect the best interest of his or her client. So you need someone on your own side so that knows enough, that is aware, that is informed, that is knowledgeable to act in your own best interest all the way through the transaction. Okay, so this person is to act, to give you a service, and it's to act in your best interest all the way down. Okay, all the way down the transaction from the beginning till the end. All right, so if you have, that's why it's important you don't just work in you don't go into a transaction that you're working with just one realtor, and the realtor is on the side of the seller, or someone telling you, we have there's this particular thing, there's this particular property I think you can invest in, and you just, okay, let me go ahead and check. Of course, if the person is introducing to you, the person will be loyal to the seller, not to the buyer. So you need to get your own person that you're going to work with that would have your best interest at heart. That is one of the duties and also the benefits of hiring a realtor before you buy a property. Okay, the second one is a realtor, they educate you about the neighborhood. And you know, the interesting part of acquiring a property starts from the part where you start inspecting the neighborhood, or you start your property search. You're thinking about, what neighborhood do I buy? or by the time you start your property search, it can really be interesting. And as much as it can be interesting, it can be frustrating as well. Especially when you're just going around in circles trying to check, and okay, you have your focus, you have what you want to achieve by buying this property. But if you don't have someone to help you through that part, in as much as it can be interesting, it can also be frustrating. Okay, so the realtor educates you on the neighborhood. It's the job of the realtor to tell you, okay, if this is the neighborhood you're looking at, this is, or okay, this is the neighborhood I really want to invest in, this is what is about this neighborhood. Starting from the crime rates. Okay, if you're investing, for example, you wouldn't want to put your money in a place that the crime rate is high, because if crime rate is high, it means people will start moving out of that location part time, and the vacancy rate would increase. And you don't want a place where the vacancy rate would increase and you can't really get something, especially if you're looking at using it for rental, when your rental income will be static. You don't want that. Okay, so the realtor would educate you based on the neighborhood, based on, okay, if it's a place you're looking at and you want to live in, and for example you're raising a family, or you have children, that will be moving in with you, the realtor will educate you about the schools, the school ratings, how well do this school rank. Are there schools you can put your children in? Because if you're not putting your children in boarding schools, you want them to go from home. I'm sure you want them to go to a school not too far from where you live in. Okay? So educate you about the school. Okay, do they have good schools? Is there a place that you can't easily access good schools, or the schools that are in that kind of neighborhood are not good enough for your children? Also, transportation. The realtor will educate you about transportation. What mode of transportation? Are the roads motorable, or is it a particular location where I have to park 5 minutes walk away from where I live in because my car can't drive in? Okay. Educate you about the form of transportation. Educate you about what's this thing called again? Okay, just I would remember as I go on. Educate you on different things. Okay. Also educate you about what happens in the neighborhood. Is there a neighborhood that there's curfew, that I know every particular time of the month I can't leave my house past 7 because I'm a woman, and because there's a form of happening or ritual going on? For someone like me, I wouldn't want to live in that kind of location, because I know the kind of job. But even if leaving my job out of it right now, I wouldn't want a place where I'm restricted, where I can't go into my house anytime, or I feel, okay, I have to stay back maybe where I am right now because I know something is happening around my neighborhood, and I'm not free to move because something is happening. Okay, so they educate you. And the major point is making sure after you make or you buy the property, you're happy with your purchase. There is no thanks for joining, thanks for watching. Thanks, Mr. Tony, for joining me. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Thanks for joining. So they help you with the neighborhood. They help you with the demography, of the neighborhood. For example, if I'm a young person, would I want to buy or live in a place where I have elderly people that are just going to, let me say, it could kill my vibes, all right? Or if I'm elderly and I'm just looking for a place where I can live in peace and quiet and all that, I wouldn't want to get a property close to a central business district. So the realtor will help educate you on things like that, on the neighborhood. Okay? Thanks, boss. Thank you. We'll educate you on the neighborhood you are investing in part-time. Okay, that's one of the benefits of hiring a realtor when you want to buy property. They tell you the in and out, and they make sure. Thanks, Victoria, for joining me. Thank you. They make sure you get the property in a place that suits what you're looking for, even though you're looking at investing. What kind of rental income are you looking at? Does this neighborhood you want to invest in, does it suit your goal or what you're looking at? Okay, does it suit what you hope to get at the end of, let's say, 5 years? They educate you on all of those. Then the third duty and advantage of a realtor is they help steer you in the right direction. And I was thinking about this today. I said a realtor is a driver that drives you to your promised land, just like Joshua drove the Israelites to the promised land with the help of God, obviously. Okay? Because they steer you in the right direction. And the truth of the matter is, especially for first-time investors, most of them don't know exactly what they want, and that is the truth. Okay, I've had cases whereby I'm talking to someone that wants to invest. most time first time investors, and they tell you, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, and okay, I just sit down calmly, I take my notepad with my Bible, and I'm just, okay, I'm noting down all what the person is saying. I want this and this and this, and all this goes on and on and on, and eventually ask, okay, what is your focus? Or of course, maybe you've determined the focus, or what's the end goal of the investor before you start your discussion. Okay, but I've learned enough not to cut a prospective client, or a client, as the case may be, off when they're talking. I let them say everything they want to say before I now start picking it one by one and telling you, okay, this is the end goal, but this thing you mentioned right here won't work for this end goal. This one, maybe number 2 would work, maybe number 3 won't work, and it goes on and on, because on the long run you find out, okay, maybe because of the excitement, that is their first time they are investing, they just keep telling you, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. But on the long run, when I break it down, or when I split it for them, they find out, okay, that's why this one won't work for this one, but it can work for another one. Okay, so you get to educate them, they steer you in the right direction, they make sure you're not. The major thing is, a good realtor would ask you questions, okay, to narrow down your focus, so that they can get your needs and your wants that will be in line with your lifestyle and your goals for investing, or whatever the case may be. That is what a good realtor does. Ask you questions. It's not just about, okay, because especially for first-time investors, you can all be all and about, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. But the major thing is working or investing in a way that your goals are achieved, be it as an investor or as a first-time owner, or whatever the case may be. So realtors ask you questions to be able to narrow down your focus in order to get in order to achieve your needs and your wants in line with your lifestyle and your goals. In order to be able to achieve your lifestyle and your goals. So that's what a realtor does. They steer you in the right direction. It's not just about, okay, this is what I want. And even if you want so and so thing and it's not in line with your end goal, the realtor would explain to you, will break it down, will make you see reasons why I think this should wait now and we should move on with this, okay? So that is it. Then the fourth thing is, a realtor shares their network with you. That is their duty as well. It's their duty, and it's one of the benefits of hiring a realtor before you buy a property. They share their network with you. And I'll give you an example. Because the truth is, when you're buying a property, there are a lot of professionals involved in the process of buying a property. It's not just all about the seller and the buyer. There are a lot of professionals involved. And especially if you're a first-time buyer, you might not know any of these professionals. You might not have worked with anybody. When you hire a realtor, they bring their network, the people you need. They connect you with the right professionals. They bring them on board to be in order for you to achieve speed and achieve the right in order to achieve speed and make the right decision per time. And I'll give you an example. There's this woman. I think she watched my last month. Yeah, she called me last month. She watched one of my live stream on Israel Available. I was talking about, I think, due diligence documentation, and not just taking people's word for it. That even if your family member or someone you know closely is selling to you or tells you about a property, make sure you do your due diligence, find out the size. Don't just take it for face value that the size is 600. A full plot, let's say 600 square meters, and you just look at it and you're like, okay, I think the 600 square meters is big enough. Do your due diligence. Call a surveyor. Ask a surveyor to survey the property for you. Find out if it's the exact size the person is talking about. So I discussed all of that in that video. Then she called me up. I think she lives in Holland. She called me and she was like, oh, I watched your video and I'm about making such decision. In fact, my brother wants to help me buy. Not like she doesn't trust her brother. Her brother, she trusts her brother, but the person, she just wants to do due diligence before she buys from the person, because it's not her brother that is selling. Her brother knows someone that wants to buy. And I said, okay, that's fine. We got talking. And I think that same week, we got talking, we had our discussion, and I went there. But when I was going there, because I knew one of the things that needs to be done, when you're doing due diligence, is finding out if the property you want to buy is committed or it's free. Okay, and with that, I need the help of a surveyor. So I didn't go all by myself. What did I do? I called the surveyor on my team, I called the building engineer on my team because she had already told me that she wants to buy and she wants to build. Why did I call the building engineer? Let's go see the place, let's inspect. There are other things, there are so many things you know about construction. I don't know too much about construction, but you know a whole lot about construction. Probably when you see the land, you can advise. This is how the area is. This type of construction? Is this kind of foundation? Of course, myself, when I see a bare land, I can tell from. I'm not that deep in that, but I can tell if you're going to do a raft foundation or not. But I went with the surveyor. I went with the building engineer, myself and one other person. We went to inspect the place. After seeing the place, as a realtor, I checked every other thing, the neighborhood. I found out the price. She didn't tell me the price at first, but I knew it was part of my duty to find out the price and to also ask, okay, how much are these people selling? After finding out the price in the neighborhood, so I'll know if what they are asking her to pay for that property is on the high side or if it's fair enough, okay? I was to do all of that. That's part of my job. While the surveyor is supposed to take the coordinates on site, take it to allow Sala's Ministry of Lands to chart the property. Okay, while the building engineer did his own part, he checked through the land and all of that. So he could tell. So when we came back that same day, the surveyor went his way. I did my own report. The building engineer did his own report. And I was able to give her a feedback that same night. And why am I saying this? What I did is, just by one call, I pulled in other professionals. I pulled in my own network to help her achieve results fast, to give her a feedback. But now imagine if I didn't go with the surveyor because she just called me. I was going to do my own part. Then she's going to, maybe, she's not in Nigeria. She's going to call another surveyor. One, apart from the fact that it's going to be expensive for her. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for joining. Apart from the fact that it's going to be expensive. And I said, please, when you're here, let me know you're here. I can't see those that are live, but I just see people. Just say something. Let me know you're here. Thanks, Mr. Ike, for joining me. So apart from the fact that she's going to pay me what's due to me, if she had called a surveyor by herself, she's going to pay the surveyor, she's going to pay the building engineer, and all of that is going to just be, there are going to be extra charges. Unlike me, I brought in my network, we were able to give her a swift response, and all of that. Assuming she called the realtor separately, she's still looking for a surveyor, which she's not even sure. Thanks, Mr. Oladosi, for joining. Thank you for joining. Okay, thanks for joining, Mr. Hyde from Marina. Yeah, thank you so much. So she's going to have to call, and the decision, even getting feedback might be slow, because by the time she calls the surveyor can say, okay, I don't have time to go to like next week. She calls the building, I don't think I have time till like 2 days from now. But everything was swift because by calling me, I was able to bring in my own network of people that I know are trusted and tested, that delivers results, okay? And that same night, okay, we went to the site in the morning. By evening, I was already giving her a report about the property, and she was happy. Okay, she was happy. Okay, now I think I can pay. Because one, the land was not committed, it was free. And I told her other things she needs to do. The land does not have a registered survey. This is how you go about it. This is how much it costs. So she got all those benefits by just calling one person that brought in other people. Thank you all for joining. By bringing in other people, one, she was able to save costs. Two, she was able to save herself the stress, okay, of having to call different people. And meanwhile, she didn't even know all those people were necessary. She didn't know, but by bringing me in, I was able to help her see reasons why. I was able to help her with all of that. I just had to call the surveyor, call the building engineer, myself, with another person. We did the report, and we sent to her. So that is the duty of a realtor. When you hire a realtor, they help you, they bring in their network to help you in that, because it's not just buying a property involves working with different professionals. And especially if you're a first-time property investor, you might not know all of this. You might not know those that are good on the job. You might not know. And we have a lot of people that pose as what they are not out there. You see people that call themselves surveyors, but they are not surveyors, right? You wouldn't know all this because it's not written on the forehead. There's no one carrying fake or something on the forehead, okay? You wouldn't know, right? So that's another advantage and benefit of hiring a realtor before you buy a property. Then the next one is reduces financial surprises by outlining the buyer's cost. That is one thing you don't want to overlook, like really. I've had people who bought property. Then after buying, they start whining and they're complaining. They're like, I didn't know it was going to take, I'm going to pay for this. I didn't know I'm going to still pay for this. And I'm like, really? But why did you, like, okay, but you're not aware. Didn't you hire a realtor to help you? Like, is this your first time? Like, I just ask questions. Like, they're just surprised. And, but I like, me putting myself in their shoes, right? It can be annoying. It can be annoying when you have surprises springing up at you. And not just surprises, financial surprises. It can be very annoying. Especially when I know, okay, maybe I want to buy a car and my budget is 5 million. And on the long run, I buy this car and in like another 2 months, I'm still spending. Expenses keep showing up because I didn't know I was going to pay for all those things. So what the realtor does is the realtor helps you outline the cost. So you are not under, nothing is coming by surprise. Nothing is shocking you at any point. Nothing is coming and you're like, oh, really? Okay, because we've had cases that when you're buying a property, there are all the things you need to consider. Thanks for joining, Temita Yobolamide. Thank you. Thanks for joining. There are so many other costs you need. In fact, they are not, you can't overlook them. Some people don't know that when they buy property, you have to think of lawyer fees, you have to think about appraisal costs, inspection costs, you have to think of property tax. And I'm like, okay, it's okay if you don't know, but you shouldn't have gone into that transaction totally ignorant. And that is what a realtor helps you do. They inform you, you get informed, you get informed part-time on what is happening. Okay, apart from what is happening, the costs you're going to take. Like, for example, I work with companies. I market for companies that are verified, have been verified by Jet Property Consult. We market their products. And you know, when you're buying from a company, it's different from when you're buying from an individual, or when you're buying from a family, or when you're buying from the government. It's a totally different settings. And most times when you're buying from companies, what companies sell is they sell estates to you. If they're selling land, they sell land inside an estate. If they're selling houses, they sell houses inside an estate. So it's a different setting. It's not just something that, okay, when you pay for land, you know, okay, let me take the receipt and start something, because it's an estate. So you know that when you buy your property, there are other charges that have to be paid for. Most people, those that don't know, like, the laymen, they call it hidden charges, but these charges are not hidden charges. They are called statutory charges. But I understand why some people can call it hidden charges, because for some people, or for some people that market to them, or for some companies, they don't tell them about these charges until they've made the purchase of the land. Then now start telling them, you need to pay for survey, you need to pay for this, you need to pay for that. None of the company I partner with do that. They tell you upfront, even before you make payments, whether you're doing installments or you're paying outright. They tell you upfront, in fact, it's on the FAQ, and the FAQ is attached to the form, to the land form you're filling before you make the purchase. So it's not like I was not told. But for me, I take the extra, I inform the client even before they find it. By the time you're asking me questions, okay, Abiola, or whether you're my friend or anybody at all, when you call me, okay, I saw this your post. I saw Queen's Court. Queen's Court is selling for 5 million naira. By the way, for everyone watching, Queen's Court is still on promo. It's still on promo. Like, some people saw me and they were like, okay, Biola, you hardly wear t-shirts. I'm like, yeah, for Queen's Court, I will wear t-shirts. And that is because this is an amazing discount. And I was trying to create awareness for every of my loved ones, so they don't tell me, oh, but I was not aware when Queen's Court was selling for 5 million. Queen's Court originally is 10 million, but the company currently is running a 10 million and 50% discount, which is 5 million per plot. That means you can get 2 plots for the price of 1, okay? For the price of 1 at 5 million naira per plot with C of O, and it has a certificate of occupancy. And the location of Queen's Court is amazing. It's a location where people are rushing to invest in right now. So if you have the money, there's nothing stopping you from investing in Queen's Court. It's a good buy. And the promo is still on. I think it will be on till mid-August. So there's still time if you want to invest. So, for example, sorry I had to deviate. Back to what I was saying. If a client tells me, okay, Bella, I saw your advert on Queen's Court. I see it's 5 million naira. Promo price, 50% off. I let them know, yes, it's 5 million naira. But there are other charges that needs to be paid. The 5 million naira is the cost of the land. And other charges is not, they are to your own advantage. For example, you will pay for survey. So amount is the amount for survey. And what does this survey do? This survey, it's going to be a survey in your own name. Because the company has their own survey. So when they sell your own plot to you, they're going to map out your portion and it get you a survey which is going to be in your name. And this survey is not free. They pay to the government to have it because it's going to be in your name. So that is not even part of the cost of the land. Okay, you pay for documentation. What is documentation? Your deed of assignment, which is what tells that transfers ownership from the company to you. By the way, if you don't know what a deed of assignment is, I have done a video, an extensive video on deed of assignment in the past. So just scroll down this page and pull up that video. You get to understand what a deed of assignment is. And also on the blog of Lagos Realtor Sale, there's a write-up that is explicit on deed of assignment. And I'll say this again. If you're watching me right now, you have a property and you don't know what a deed of assignment is, trust me, you don't own a property. You don't own a property because it's funny how people would have real estate people keep saying that over and over. It's funny how people will have documents, like you have the receipt of your car, you have evidence of purchase, you have transfer of ownership and all of that, and you buy property that keeps appreciating, that is not depreciating, and you don't have a deed of assignment. So if you own a property and you don't know what a deed of assignment is, like I said, you don't own a property, because you should have a deed of assignment that transfers ownership from who you have sold, from who you bought from to you. Okay, so I don't want to deviate on deed of assignment. So I tell them, this is the cost. Then on the long run, I tell you the total amount you're paying is so amount. So they know. So they are not buying, they're not paying first. And the whole surprises of, oh, I didn't know I was going to pay for deed. And so people, when I tell some people, they'll tell me, okay, I thought, why am I paying for this? Is it not part of the 5 million? All I just explain to them is this simple. This is the explanation. When you buy a brand new car, it does not come. Does it come with a plate number? They say no. Okay. So do you get your plate number? They say yes. Where do you get your plate number from? They tell me. Do you pay for it? Yes, I pay for it. Exactly how it is. Apart from that, do you insure your car? Yes, I insure my car. The insurance, do you pay for it? They answer me. They say yes. When you pay for the insurance, is it part of the cost you bought the car? So they tell me no. I'm like, that's just it. That's the way it is. Although some company put all this, they fix all this amount together and they put out the main amount. So it depends on the operation, the way the particular company operates. Different companies operate by removing the amount, by taking out the statutory charges, and that is because they allow room for you to be able to pay for the cost of land. They allow you to pay for cost of land while you know it's your own, and you can spread payments for the statutory charges. That's why most companies separate them, but they let you know. They let you know before you make the purchase. So it's not like anyone is hiding anything from you. It's not like anyone is springing surprises on you. So that is one of the duties of a realtor. They help you outline. And even if you're not buying from a company, they let you know, okay, when you buy this property, you have to pay lawyers, you have to pay legal fees, you have to pay for appraisal, you have to pay property tax. So you know, you are aware. That way, if your budget for a building, please keep the questions coming. If you have questions and you're watching, please ask your questions. I would answer them as I go on. So if your budget, for example, is 18 million, you know that you can, as in that's all you have, 18 million to buy a building. You know definitely you're not going to buy a building of exactly 18 million. You are buying lower than 18 million so that you can use the balance to pay for other costs. Okay? That is what a realtor helps you with. They help you outline the cost. Okay, this is how much or so percent you're paying the lawyer. For this property, this is what the property tax is like. This is how much you're paying for appraisal if you're paying. This is how much for inspection cost and all that. And if you're renovating or you have to repair some things, this and this and this is what you're doing. So you have an idea. You're not surprised. On the long run, you're not surprised. You're not surprised, not financially, because it can be annoying. Especially when you're asked to spend money you didn't plan for, money you didn't budget for, because you are not informed. Okay, so you don't want that happening to you. You don't want surprises springing up at you after you've made a purchase. So that's what another duty of a realtor. They help you reduce financial surprises by outlining the buyer's cost. Okay, then the sixth duty and benefit of hiring a realtor is they help make sure your contract is rock solid and safe. Okay, they help make sure your contract is rock solid and safe. That's because, especially when you're in real estate transactions, there are some terms that needs to be included, especially when you're documenting. So a realtor helps you check through and make sure those terms are included with the help of a lawyer, and also goes through the contract to be sure the listing agent is not is not sneaking in anything, or is not being sneaky, or putting in something that is not in your favor that can put you on in a tight corner in future. So a realtor helps you with that as well. They help make sure that the documents, the contract, everything is safe. The terms that to be included are included. It could be usually with the help of a property lawyer that would help you document, help you read as well. Okay. And like I said earlier, realtor brings in their network. So a realtor can also, if you don't have a lawyer, a good and a professional realtor can introduce you to a lawyer that can help with documenting the process and making sure the contract is to your favor and there's nothing that would disfavor you in the contract. Okay, that's another thing a realtor does. Then also the realtor helps you negotiate price. You heard me. That is the duty. That's one of the duties of a realtor as well. The realtor will help you negotiate price of what most people don't know. They just feel, okay, all the realtor needs to do for me is show me the property to buy, property that I think, property that I want, or property that I like. Just show it to me and I'll do the rest. No, it's part of the realtor's duty to help you negotiate price, and this is because the realtor knows it's easy for the realtor, or the realtor can find out recently sold properties in their area, can find out, okay, maybe expired listings in the market, and can also consider comparables in order to arrive at a price that the realtor knows is acceptable, okay, due to the recent happenings in the market, due to what is currently happening in the real estate market. A realtor helps with all of this, but you might not be able to start finding out, okay, what house just got sold in this area, what apartment just got sold, how much was it sold, what's the comparable, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, I believe you understand what I'm saying. Don't let me start going deep, okay? So the realtor helps with that. Is the duty of the realtor to help you negotiate price when you are buying. Yes, it's part of the job of the realtor, because they are informed, they are knowledgeable, they know the market more than you do. They know what sold for how much. They know what got sold last week for how much. They know, okay, what is a no-no. Okay, I don't think they know what, at least the level, how low the buyer, the seller rather, can accept due to what the comparables in the market and how much is acceptable. Okay, you might feel, oh, let me just negotiate 2 million of this deal, and the realtor might be able to help you achieve 5 million of that same deal. Okay, it's part of their job. Okay, so even allow the realtors to do their job. It's part of their job to help you negotiate. You might be a better negotiator, it depends, but still they would fill you in with information of the current market value, prices around that area for the particular, be it land, be it a building. Okay, they help you negotiate price. All right. And also, other costs as well, they can help you negotiate it. For example, when I have clients that buy through a company, while paying the statutory fees, because the statutory charges like for survey, for deed, for developmental fee and all that. And the realtor actually knows what else can be negotiated apart from the exact cost of the land. Okay, especially when you're doing bulk purchase. So for me, most times, after I've told my clients that this is how much it is for survey, this is how much it is for deed, this is how much it is for developmental fee, I still go ahead, although I don't tell them, just in case, I still go ahead, meet with the company and negotiate a good deal for them, especially where I see it will work out. If they are running a promo, it might not be so easy to negotiate on the price of the land. But if they're on the statutory charges, especially if the client is buying a lot, it can be negotiated. And sometimes you take 30% off, you are able to negotiate a good deal. And when you get back to the client, and you're like, okay, when you're paying for statutory fees, this is the amount you've paid. I've gotten an approval that so amount has been taken off for you. And they're like, whoa, like I've had clients that are surprised. They're like, oh, really? Thank you. Most times they're excited. And that way, the client is excited. You save money, you save stress, you save, and there's no how, another time the client won't want to hire a realtor. So that is one of the jobs. Allow the realtors to do their job. They help you negotiate. They can help you negotiate. They know what is negotiable. They know what is not negotiable, okay? They can help you get acceptable prices because they know the market. They are knowledgeable about the market. The realtor understands the market so well. You might feel I can drop maybe 1,000 on this, and the realtor can be able to drop as high as even 10 or 5,000 on that particular deal. So they help you negotiate prices. That's one of the advantage, another advantage of hiring a realtor. Then the last I'm going to be discussing with you is they help facilitate the offer to completion date process. And that is from the beginning to the end, the realtor helps you all through. Whatever you're not clear on, the realtor explains to you. Make sure the realtor makes sure everything is organized, because that is your job from the beginning, from inspection, appraisal, to negotiation, to documentation, and all of that. A realtor helps make sure from the beginning to the end, everything, and helps you reduce stress on your part as well. Because in all of this, is the realtor that will be doing most of the job. Okay, it's the realtor that will be doing most of the job. So those are I bet most of you don't know that the 8 things I've mentioned right now. Maybe you just know 2 things, that 2 duties of the realtor, but you don't know, okay, it's actually this in-depth. A realtor does this much for a client. So I'm sure that now that you know, when you want to make that purchase next time, you hire a realtor, because there's a whole lot to gain. There's a whole lot to gain when you hire a realtor to help you when you want to buy a property than you can think of. Okay, most people don't know. Just feel, okay, yeah, rather than hire a realtor, I'm going to pay commission. That commission is going to save you a whole lot of stress. That money you're paying to them is going to be to your advantage. It's better to get a realtor, put you through, walk you down the path, help you get good deals, and saves you the stress, than for you to, okay, do it all by yourself, and you end up making a mistake, and later you now start looking for a realtor that's going to tell you what went wrong, or that's going to help you look for a lawyer to fight the law. And you know how court cases are in Nigeria. You can be on a case for like 4 years. You don't want to do that. In fact, you don't want to go through that stress. So it's better to just take the right steps from the beginning. Get a realtor, get someone that is knowledgeable. It's just normal. If, for example, now I want to buy a car, I don't know too much about cars, I would have to ask. I will ask questions. Okay, I think I'm loving this, maybe Lexus, but what are the advantages and disadvantages of a Lexus? I'll wait with another one. Okay, why? Okay, and depending on what I want to achieve with buying that particular car, okay, do I want it for everyday movement? Do I want it just for luxury? Like, I want to take this is the car I want to take for parties. Do I want this? Do you understand? And I ask questions. And when I'm going to buy, I have someone that is knowledgeable, probably a car dealer or someone. And if it's someone that wants to buy a used car, I know most of the people want to buy used cars. They take along their mechanic to check a whole lot of things to be sure they are working. That's just how it is with a realtor. When you want to buy property, you can't assume you know it all. It's better to engage the service of someone in the business. Okay, so because there is so many things the realtor will see that you won't see. There are so many things that are not that are not visible, okay, that are not on the surface at all. But you might just think this deal is a good one. But the realtor sees a whole lot and can save you a whole lot of stress, all right? So that is what I've come to share with you today. There are no questions, okay? I believe, today I'm clear enough. My terms are simple enough. I want to believe everybody understands what I've said, so that's why there are no questions. Please, if you have questions, drop your questions. Let me answer them. And if you're watching a replay and you have a question, please drop your questions as well. I'll answer them as soon as I see them, and I know that will be within a day. So I'll answer them as soon as I see them. Drop your questions. And for everyone that sends questions to my email too, I've answered all the questions. But most times I tell people I would rather prefer you drop questions beneath this video, and that's because so that others can learn and we don't have repeated questions in my mail, okay? So ask them on the group. Another person might see my reply and get to learn something as well. So it's better. It's better if you ask your questions in the comment section on the video where I get to reply and everybody sees the answer as well. So that is it. And for those who want consultation, for those who want who are not clear on particular thing, you want to consult me, all you need to do is send a mail to me at abiolafadaunsi@gmail.com. That's my name, abiolafadaunsi@gmail.com. Okay, let the questions start rolling in, please, if there's any question. And if you're still with me till now, just say something. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Just say yes, I'm clear. If you don't have a question, type something. Let me know you're here. I can see people are live with me. Or maybe it's me that is not saying the questions. Is that possible? Okay, let me know. Just let me know you're here. If you don't have questions, that's fine. Just let me know you're fine. You're fine with my explanation. You understand everything I've just said. And you know that henceforth, if you're not a real estate person and you want to buy a property, you're going to hire a realtor. Of course, for someone like me who want to buy a property, okay, I'll hire myself and I'll pay myself. Yeah, I'll hire myself and pay myself. Okay, but if you're not a real estate person, just hire a professional, because they save you the stress, they save you the mistakes, they save you the time, they save you the cost. Okay, because it's real estate real estate is not like banana or something that when you buy you find out it's spoiled. After thinking about it, that moment is gone, like just straight away. No, you don't want to make mistakes. Real estate, because they involve money. It involves money, okay? And it involves a whole lot of attachment and emotions. You know, that fact of, okay, I want to buy a land, I'll soon be a landlord, I'll soon be free, I'll soon be independent, and all of a sudden it just goes, wow, just because you made a mistake. Apart from the money involved, it does a whole lot of things to your psychic, and you don't want that. So many people get depressed, so many people even lose their lives as a result of bad real estate decisions, okay? So I guess there are no questions. If you have questions, like I've said, and you're watching the replay, please drop your questions. I'll get to answer them as soon as I say them. Don't forget, Queen's Court promo is still on at 5 million naira per plot, 50% discount. All for a layer promo is still on. It was extended 5 million instead of 10 million, and it has the certificate of occupancy. Queen's Court is in Shapate Lakwe, after Lagos Business School, after ShopRite Shongotedo. If you know Shongotedo here, that area where close to where they call the New Lagos, where Lagos is moving to right now. Okay, yeah, that's where Queen's Court is. So start calling in, make your investment. If you have 5 million, trust me, it is a good buy, and I said so. You can quote me 20 years from now when that land is already like 300 million. Okay, so that is it today. Thank you, Tayo. Thank you, Tayo. I'm here for the wonderful session with you. Very clear. Thank you so much. In fact, I'm happy you understand what I've shared today. Like, so that means I'm not using big grammars that is confusing, and it's clear enough. So thank you. Thanks for watching. So that's what I've come to share with you today on Easy Real Estate with Abiola. And don't forget, this is done weekly. I come live weekly every Thursday, 3 p.m. West African time. You can set your reminders, you can set your alarms, you can set your date, so you join me live every Thursday. And yeah, this video is going to be up till next week. For now, I'll be pulling down videos. That's because I want as many people as possible to get this information, to get clear on issues like this, so they don't go wrong, so they don't get their fingers burnt. So the best you can do, if you've gotten value from this video, is to share it so more people can see. Please share the videos, let more people get informed. You don't know who you'll be doing a whole lot of favor. You don't know who will be saving a whole lot from making the wrong decision. Okay, so please share this video. Give me your loves, give me your likes, because I know you love me and I love you all too. Thanks for watching. So till I see you again next week, my name still remains Abiola Fadaunsi, and it's bye for now. Thanks for joining. For all those still alive, thank you so much. God bless you. See you again next week.